Okay, so I'm going to do a little focus for the mid back and neck because one of the subscribers emailed me recently and said that she was doing great, getting other things to release, but she had this one stubborn spot in her body where she accumulates a lot of tension in her upper shoulders, her neck, her mid back. So the trapezius area, which is a big diamond shaped muscle, it actually, turn around here. If you feel for the base of your ribs, that's your T12, you have 12 vertebrae here, and it's a diamond shape. It comes up, goes over the shoulder blades, comes up here. You can grab your trap here, and then it inserts all the way up into the neck. So we're going to do a little muscle specific rolling, which is basically rolling out the ribs. I have this already in a lot of the videos, but we're going to do with a special emphasis today on trying to really get that trapezius to release and then actually taking some of the energy out of the head. So we're going to use the gold ball for this. You can use the silver ball too if you want. And I want to go up each side of the spine in a specific way. So we're going to be on first on the right side. Here's my center spine. Here's my sacrum. The ball, we're going to lean forward and get that ball wedged as close to just above on the base of the sacrum and just above the sit bone like this. And we're going to work up one side. So come to the back of your mat. You're going to lean forward. So plant your feet, lean forward. Here's my sit bones. I'm going to wedge that ball. Remember, we're going to work on one side. So first I'm going to sit really nice and tall. I'm going to hold on to it for now because it feels like it could go, go spilling out that way. So there's a little bit of a pelvic curl here. So just feel that if you tuck and curl and stay here and you curl your pelvis. So you're not using your upper body at all. It's all in this lower abs to spine to ball. You might even want to hold on to that ball. So just curl that pelvis. Take a big, full, expansive breath. Exhale. When you exhale, connect those muscles front to back to ball. Curl a little bit more forward. So now it's on the top of the sacrum. Now you can grab the backs of your knees or thighs. Breathe here, and I want you to connect here. Exhale, back. So we're building up to get to that trapezius muscle because it's always good to get the whole spine to release. Big inhale, exhale, connecting. And now curl one more time, and the ball is going to end up right here between the hips and ribs. So now feel like the bottom of the ball is pushing the pelvis down, and the top of the ball is lifting the ribs. So now we're into the beginning of that trap muscle. It's where it's narrow, right? It starts, and then it goes into its diamond shape. So big full breath, exhale. Feel the front rib connect to the back rib. Inhale. Everything, neck and shoulders is relaxed. You stay with your weight in the ball. The inhale breath is expansive, but it's not lifting you off the ball, to be clear. Inhale. Exhale. Sink back into the ball. Press your feet. Get all the weight there. Lift the next. You're on one side, lifting one vertebrae. Sometimes it's good to grab your shirt if it's rolling up like mine. And get it just below the tip of the shoulder blades. You're going to interlace your fingers. Put it into the back of your neck. And I want you to lift the back of your, and support the back of your skull long, like that. Like you want to feel like you can stretch it. Support it. And breathe. So these stay nice like a unit. So you're not lifting your ribs. You're expanding them in all directions. And then as you exhale, you let them melt from front to back. So we're on that one side. So just lean a little bit to the right so the ball can roll into the right side of your spine. Big full breath. And then just move out a little bit and back in so you can really determine where you can get good pressure into the spine. And spread out and in. Okay, pick up those hips and move them a little bit to the left. Stretch this arm out. This will allow your spine to stay pretty neutral as you roll out the ribs. So we're in the top of the lat as well as going in. When you get closer to the spine, you'll feel that trap muscle. But this one's getting the lats a little more superficial. So we want to get that widening out, get the ribs widening out. Use that stretch through that elbow. Don't just be like hanging out here. You want to stretch long. It feels really good. And then go back, back, back. Bring those hips back to neutral. Take a breath. Connect again. And make sure you're on that right side of the spine. Press in your feet, lift your hips, move your body down, get the ball just between the shoulder blades. So you're going to tilt a little bit to press it into the spine, and you can go the other direction, spread a little to the right. The ball's going to spread out towards that shoulder blade. Little towards the spine, just a small teeter-totter here. Now, let's pick up those hips and move them. I want you to flatten here, so it's the whole front pec to the shoulder blade, elbow straight. See how flat I am? I'm not raising my ribs. I stay supported, and I'm going to roll out that shoulder blade and back and into the spine. Take another big breath. Exhale. Flattening the shoulder blade and back into the spine. Should feel really good. Finish the move though. Go back all the way to the spine. Press in there. We got it. There's also, you got the paraspinal muscles that are real thick in there. We're trying to get through layers and layers of fascia to affect a widening of this big muscle in the back. Okay, bring that, once you get to the spine, bring those hips back to that neutral parallel position and get that ball right there, right to the right side of the spine. Pressing the feet. Again, you're supporting your head. You're just taking the ball up to what's left on the thoracic spine here. So you're going to be right before you go into the cervical curve. So right, the top of the ball's level with the top of the shoulder. T1. This is the end of the thoracic spine, but it's not the end of the trapezius muscle. In fact, it's really wide here. It goes along the top of the shoulder blade. So this move done right is going to be a great thing to release this muscle. So real important. So also, if your shirt's rolled up, go ahead and pull it out. I just did that to show you how you can always reboot in each one of these moves. So you got that ball, no sense in having that tangled up in there. Get your wardrobe malfunctions out of the way. So press into T1. You can feel it's usually the one that sticks up at the top, right at the, it's right there, C7, T1. Press into that. And then so you want to lift this collarbone area and first rib. So I want you to lengthen and wrap and lift that. It's not coming from down in your low ribs. It's literally coming from the collarbone and first rib. That's going to level out over the top of the shoulder area. Support the head and just roll along, and the ball is going to feel like it's pushing the top border of that shoulder down. Bring it back to T1. Do that a couple more times on your own. Keep your breath moving. It's always good to start with a big inhale, exhale, then roll out because you can bear weight with the exhale. Inhale and bear weight to go back. Big inhale again, bear weight, exhale, out. Take the ball back in. Let's do one more. Really lift that collarbone, pull the head out, roll along the top of that shoulder blade and back to the spine. Good. Now, we want to get the last little piece of the trapezius muscle where it attaches onto the back of the skull. So have your fingers interlaced, lift them a little higher onto the skull so that you have room for the ball. Bridge up, go into a big bridge, pull your head forward. You're going to move that ball into the back of the neck. Your shoulders should come to the mat. Get the shirt out of the way if you need. If your shoulder blade doesn't make it to the floor, you probably haven't gone far enough. And then all you have to do is just lengthen down, scooch down to get it to lift into the back of the occiput. So it should look like this. You should have that ball halfway up your skull. You shouldn't be way up there looking at the ceiling with this shoulder lifted off. If it is, just get the shoulders to the floor and make sure that ball is high enough in your occiput so you get that release of that insertion of the trapezius muscle. So you're on that right side, press and release, press and release, press. Now we're going to start to spread out, but I want you to think about like connecting the face, front to back to ball. So the jaw, your cheekbone, spread out, out. You should feel good. You're spreading your whole skull and upper cervicals. And you're taking the ball right behind the ear. Feel for the little bone that is right behind your ear. It's called your mastoid process. Keep lifting the shoulder out of the way. Press into that bone. Breathe. So we're going to just turn onto our side. We're going to use this hand to lift our ribs and slide the elbow so it's straight from shoulder to elbow, and just bend the lower arm. And then I want you to bend the top leg, straighten the leg, use your free hand, move the ball right on top of the shoulder. So really have this open. So this is a great feeling, because a lot of us have really rounded shoulders at the end of the day from everything, or even in the morning from sleeping in the fetal position. Wide open collarbone. So it looks like this on the other side. So I'm mirroring it so you can see. You want to take the center of your arm and center it on the ribs, okay? And then just relax. Then scooch that up so the ball's pushing down that trapezius. So feel where it feels good. Sometimes it feels good to angle it more on the back of the shoulder blade. Sometimes it feels good to angle a little more towards the collarbone, but be in between is kind of ideal. Touching that mastoid, looking straight ahead. Use the free hand to wrap the side neck. So it's also pushing a little bit and kind of smoothing the tension in that trapezius muscle. Just stay here and breathe. Exhale. So when you get this, you just keep moving until you get the perfect traction, the perfect setup. You should feel like it's, like you're getting stretched even at ease. Like you don't have to work anymore. You're just in the position and your breath, and it's just unwinding. Get the breath full and up into your back. Exhale. And inhale. And inhale some more. And more. And more. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Slide the arm out, and you're going to start to come back face up. So as you do that, stay connected with your face and your neck to the ball. Start to turn, you roll that arm, because you want to grab the muscle with the ball and cross fiber back to that faced up position. Should feel really good. And then you get back to the position where you were. You're on that right side of the cervical spine, between the skull and the top of the shoulder. And you want to make sure you have like a nice amount of ease in the front of the neck. You're not jamming your chin down right. So it's sometimes like lift and lower the chin just to find that natural curve of the spine. Press back in there and release. Press back in there and release. You're going to take one hand to support the head. Take the ball out. Just lie down for a moment and just enjoy the fruit of that labor. Take a big breath. Hopefully the breath is flowing better in there. And you're going to roll to one side, and you're going to come up with your head coming up last. That's a good habit to get into in any kind of transition from the floor, from the couch, from your bed in the morning, instead of just jarring yourself forward, because you never know. You could be, you can throw something off just by the way you get out of bed in the morning. Okay, going to do it all on the other side. So set up, ground your feet, wedge the ball into the left side of the sacrum. You're sitting perched nice and straight on those sit bones. Shoulders and neck are nice and at ease. Head's not hanging like this, right? Get nice and lifted. Connect with that tuck of the pelvis. That you want to connect those abdominal muscles. Keep this connection as you inhale and exhale. And on the exhale, connect even further. Inhale again. So it's like you take it further each time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now curl a little bit so you're just detailing the top of the sacrum. Shoulders are relaxed. Neck's at ease. You inhale, you connect. You're going to feel the top of the crest of that hip sink back into the ball. Big full breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Curl and get the ball right between the hips and ribs so you're in that left side of that lumbar curve. You can focus a little more on the navel area, connecting the psoas muscle. Let those shoulders relax down. Breathe. The exhale connection. Now, try to pull the muscles as best you can. This is a good strengthening move. Inhale, exhale, press. Now, lengthen down. This is a good time to grab that shirt so it doesn't go with you. Take it to the tip of the shoulder blade. Interlace your fingers. And again, I like to start in the cervical spine and lift up so I can really lengthen the back of my neck as opposed to just jamming forward, right? There's a difference. I got a nice ease in the front of my neck, but I'm lengthening the top of my skull. So I'm just at that level between the tip of the shoulder blade. So I'm going to find my spine and I'm going to angle in there. Take a breath. And exhale. Feel the ribs connect from front to back. Remember, we're not flaring any ribs here. And you just spread out and feel that you can go in that direction, come back to the spine. Now I'm going to pick up my hips and I'm going to move them to the left, or to the right, excuse me, and then I'm going to stretch to this side. That just allows the spine to not twist as much as I roll out this big lat. We're trying to widen that big lat muscle so that we can affect change in the muscle underneath, which is the trapezius. When you go back, really see if you can cross fiber, grab that muscle, get it go all the way back. Finish the move all the way to the spine. Let's do that a couple more times. Big inhale. Exhale, connect and spread. Out, out, out. Inhale to pause, exhale to return. And one more time like that. I'm going to move myself up because I always have a tendency to move up when I do that one. And so know that you want where you want to be and try to stay there. Out and in, back to the spine. Okay, we're going to pop those hips back to neutral. Feel that spot right on the side of the spine. Press in your hips, lift up. Get it just between the shoulder blades, lengthen back down. So again, you're staying long through here. You're not flaring your ribs, and you're just going to find the spine and angle in there, spread out, angle into the spine, spread out a little bit, angle into the spine. And then I'm going to move those hips. I'm going to flatten that shoulder blade and just roll out that shoulder blade. Also your trap muscle here. The widest part of the diamond is here. Spread back, 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 all the way to the spine. There's a lot of other stuff going on underneath that, but you got to get the outer casing and the fascia warmed up, the big muscles released, and then that takes a lot of pressure off of those intrinsic muscles, those deeper laying, more small muscles. And out and back, like the rhomboids or other little things, levator scapula. There's lots of little striations in there. Let's do one more just because it feels so good. Out, 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 and back in. Let's get that back to neutral. Okay, pull your shirt down again. Get yourself, because we're going to go to that top of the shoulder, so you don't want a lot of extra fabric here. Press in your feet. Lengthen. So the higher you lift your hips and the more you pull your head forward, you can really get some good weight bearing in there. Stop just before the neck, so you're at the top last bit of thoracic vertebrae. This is the one we're going to go over the top of the shoulder blade and push it down with the ball. Press into T1. Nice big breath. So this, you want to really connect this collarbone to level it out at the top of the shoulder blade. Widen that elbow out, roll along the top of that shoulder. If you get the right angle, it's going to literally feel like the ball is pushing, widening the trap muscle, massaging it and lengthening it, and pushing the top of that shoulder border down with the ball. Feels so good. So see if you can lift more. That'll help you get weight in there. And press back to T1, T2, T3-ish. Lift. Remember, you're widening the collarbone as you widen the shoulder blade. It's a unit, just like the ribs were. All the way back. One more. Big breath. And back. Good. Okay, now we're going to move into the cervical spine and up into the skull. So get back in your neutral position. Bridge your hips up. Pull that head forward. Get the ball into the back of the neck. Lengthen down. This is a good time. Get that shirt out of there. And feel that ball in that left side of the neck. So you want to feel it, the same feeling as it was in the lumbar, because you got the same curve, right? So it's like it's making space between the top of the shoulder and the skull. You'll notice how far up in the skull my ball is. That allows me a nice traction of the end point of that trapezius muscle. Shoulder blades down. I'm pressing in there. Again, the press comes from the whole face here. It's not just jamming your chin down. Feel the connection. Your jaw connects. Your cheekbone connects. You're going to spread that out that left side. Take a breath. And take your time. It feels so good. I'm going to start to turn onto my side. Don't lift the weight out of where the ball is, though. Remember to not do that. You're going to use this hand. You're going to slide that down. Get that ball right on top. So again, you use that bone behind the ear as one anchor, top of the shoulder. So you're between the collarbone and the top of the shoulder blade. You lengthen this leg out, helps too. So don't try to just stay, with a bent leg. It's nice because you get this long side position. Use your free hand to side bend over the neck over the ball. Breathe. You just let that arm relax. Just stay here for a few breaths. You can always scooch up if you want to, as it releases, to get more push down of the shoulder. Big breath. If you like that feeling of more weight, you can pop that hip up like that. But again, only if you're in the right position. Again, you want that shoulder, you don't want it rounded. You want it open. So widen that collarbone, widen that upper pec as much as you can. It's just, you might even just keep working it open as you release. Feel free to explore and move in micro movements. You can, sometimes it's just like a little adjustment and it's like, oh, wow, like I just adjusted. I just got a big traction up into my mastoid, which feels really good. Relax your jaw when you're here too. Remember that bone is part of your jaw. And slide the arm out. So again, let's see if we can do it even better on this side. Really feel that you're hooked into the fascia. You're spreading. The arm comes out. Slowly start to roll up. See if you can keep the connection into the ball all the way back, all the way back, all the way back. Come face up. That felt really good on that side. And press and release. And press and release. You can just nod yes, just to kind of lift and lower and then find that natural curve of the cervical spine and press. Now I want you to take the ball and place it center, right in that occiput. So I want you to go ahead and then let both shoulder blades come straight down onto the mat, palms out. Chin just is angled down. It's not locked down, but I want you to drop the chin and lift the chin a couple times like this, just so that you can feel the muscle there. You might even feel a little crack, 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 or a little crepitus in there. Okay, now to come out of this is a good thing. So I don't want you to turn your head to look at the camera. I want you to be straight and listen. If you have to, watch me do it. If you need to look, watch me first. Don't do it and put the ball back and then do it. Okay? So you don't want to do this with a turned head. So you take your hands above and you pull the head forward. Then you bridge up, pull the head forward again. Now get the ball, make sure you're on your thoracic spine and you push in your feet, stay in that bridge, and you push down the whole trapezius until you come up like that. Okay, coming out of the camera now. Go as far as you can. I usually get to about maybe between the shoulder blades. So let's do it again because it feels so good. Let me come down a little bit so I don't lose my mirror. So put it in there, pull the head forward. So again, you don't want to put a lot of pressure into your neck by lifting your hips. So get it at T1 and lift and spread and come up. I'm going to do it from this direction because I think I have more space. There we go. Okay, one more time. Practice makes perfect. That's the thing. If you don't get something right the first time, take it out and do it again. Start over. You could. That's the beauty of having the videos, because if you weren't sure, you could always pause, rewind, do it again. So get the ball at T1 so your cervical spine's up. That's also another way to do it. Pull the head forward, bridge up, and take your time. Push into your feet, and you start to curl to come up like so. That's a better angle. If you want to keep going, bring your feet in and just keep going all the way down. So the reason I'm adding that is because for this particular client, they mentioned that they get a lot of pressure in their head. So it's a nice counter move to pull the energy out of the head, just in case, rolling up creates a lot of tension into the head. Sometimes you need that counterflow. I always think I go back to my Chinese medicine training for a lot of things. And when I think about meridian flow, there's certain things that you want energy to flow out of the head as opposed to into the head. So you can always add that. So we just widen the lats, we widen the traps, we really press from the side. I want to do one more little move that feels really good. And this is also on other videos here, but in this sequence, it's a nice little 360 of that whole area and really unwinding the neck. So let me just kind of show you first. We're going to put the ball here without any pressure and pull down on the top of the sternum. So it's like this, and you stretch up. You don't throw your head back. We're going to spread the collarbone to the top. Same thing we did here on the side, but we're going to do it in a seated position, okay? And we're going to do that on the other side as well. So we're going to start in the center, pressing down on the sternum. So that little cleft there, I'm going to do it kind of from the side. See which way, this way better. From the side so you can see. So again, it's not jamming my neck back. I'm going to make enough space by lifting my chin without any pressure in the front of my neck. I pushed down on the top of my collarbone and sternum. It's not into the neck. And then you can kind of spin it a little bit so you grab some skin. That's fine. When you open and close your jaw, you want to look up, open and close, and take the ball out. That just gives that, again, that place where we were lifting the collarbones, making space in these upper ribs, because with rounded shoulders or tight neck or collapse in the front of the body puts a lot of pressure on the back body. So it's good to add any kind of opening in these upper ribs. That's also a kidney point there too, in the kidney meridian. So we're going to take the ball between the collarbone and the jawline, and you can turn your head a little to do this. You're going to spread it and get it at that little bone behind the ear, the mastoid. While you do this, you've got that thick trap here, so spread it back, get it here. So hold it with the left hand. This arm goes out, the palm faces up, thumb up, wedge it in there. Okay, grab that wrist, look straight ahead, and just kind of move a little bit, easy. It's an intense feeling when you first start to do this because it's a big traction between the neck and shoulder. So maybe you just take a couple breaths and take the ball out. That's fine. What I don't want is leaning forward like that. If you need to, you can always do this against the wall, scoot against the wall or something, or a chair. So I want you to move your ribs to the right, and I want you to lift that elbow up, stretch, and move it back a little bit and forward, just small moves, and come down and take the ball out. And we're going to do the other side. So you take it out. Well, actually, just feel that for a minute. Take a moment. Feel how all of what this does is help set that shoulder back, opens the wide pec, gets the collarbone, and gets like actually proper shoulder alignment so that your neck and trapezius can flow. Other side, we're going to take it between the collarbone and the jawline. Try to grab the skin and muscle if you can. As you practice this one too, you'll get a little bit more specific. So you want to grab, it's good, it's all fascia. Take that hand out, the right hand's pushing down on the left shoulder. You're going to wedge it in there. You're going to grab that palm, either fingers or wrist. Get long through both sides. Feel your ribs widen and your elbow go up, up, up. Ah, exhale. Inhale, widen the ribs. Feel the elbow go up, up, up. You can always move in one direction or the other. Widen, lift. Ah, breathe into that neck. So again, no dropping. Lift, stay lifted. No popping ribs. A lot to go on there. And take that out. And just feel that. And relax those shoulders. And I hope you enjoyed your little around 360 trapezius shoulder neck release.